Hi, I'm Rasel Parvej. I'm an assistant professor and soil fertility specialist for LSU Ag Center. I'm located at Macon Ridge Research Station, Winsboro, Louisiana. Today, I'll talk about how we can manage in-season potassium deficiency in soybean. Potassium is the second most yield-limiting nutrient for soybean. Even though nitrogen is the most yield-limiting nutrient, soybean plants can meet its nitrogen requirement through biological nitrogen fixation. So, soybean plants requires a large amount of potassium for maintaining optimum water balance, increase the translocation of assimilate from source to sink, and reduce transpiration loss of water. A 55 bushels soybean requires about 160 pounds K2O, like a potassium oxide per acre. Potassium deficiency can reduce more than 50% yield loss. In addition, potassium deficiency decrease soybean seed quality by decreasing protein and oil content, as well as increasing purple seed strength. Potassium deficiency can occur in any soil that is tested very low to low soil test potassium level. However, potassium deficiency often occurs in soils that is light texture, like a coarse texture soil with a low CEC, like cation exchange capacity less than 10. These soils are anywhere from loamy sand to silt loam soil. These soils, like a coarse texture soil, also has a low nutrient and water holding capacity and very prone to potassium leaching due to excessive rainfall, and also it has a low water holding capacity. So with a less rainfall, these soils often go under drought condition that reduce potassium uptake by plant roots. So the potassium deficiency symptom first appears as the irregular yellowing, like this leaf. Then eventually is the deficiency symptom or plant growth stage progress and severity of the deficiency increases. Potassium, the entire leaves get affected, turns brown, and the entire leaves eventually die. The potassium deficiency symptoms usually appears as early as the V3 stage on the middle portion of the canopy, like something over here. But the deficiency symptom often occurs on the upper portion of the canopy during the reproductive stage. Potassium deficiency with the deficiency symptom is easy to diagnose and manage during the growing season. But lots of the field often suffer potassium deficiency without showing any deficiency symptom. That is called hidden hunger. This type of deficiency is more usual in soil with a low CEC, with a heavy rainfall, also less rainfall that cause drought. So in this case, to diagnosing potassium deficiency during the growing season, the only way we can do that is the tissue sampling. So we need to take the tissue sample from the third node from the top, actually, like I'm doing that. This is the node 1, 2, and 3. So take the entire leaves with a petiole, like 20 of these samples from different places of the field. And after taking the tissue sample, you need to separate the trifoliate portion from the petiole and basically submit either this portion or both portion separately to the diagnostic labs. Once you get that potassium concentration for both leaflet and the petiole, you can interpret the tissue potassium concentration using this figure on this slide. The one thing you need to remember during collecting a tissue sample is you have to record the exact growth stage of that soybean plant and also the date. If you know when the flowering starts, if you know the dates, that would help interpret the potassium concentration of this tissue sample. So For example, on this slide, at the R2 stage, the critical potassium concentration for the leaflet ranges from 1.46% to 1.9%, and for the petiole, it ranges from 3 to 3.8%. So any concentration below this critical level would be deficient, and above this critical level would be sufficient. So for maximum soybean growth and development, you have to have the potassium concentration above the critical level. If the potassium concentration falls below the critical level, you have to apply potassium to correct the potassium deficiency and to make sure potassium is not limiting your soybean yield. Now the question is, how delay we can apply potassium and rescue some yield loss. Well, recently the research conducted in University of Arkansas showed that you can apply potassium until R5 stage when the plants starts forming seed, and still rescue significant yield loss. And how can we apply potassium? You can use both dry and liquid fertilizer, but the dry fertilizer would be more efficient and effective and economic in rescuing soybean yield loss because it's cheap. Also, potassium has high salt index, so putting lots of potassium through the foliar method would burn soybean foliage. So the best way is to either top dress or fly 100 units potassium or muriate of potash. That will provide you 60 pounds K2O per acre. So in summary, potassium is a vital nutrient that can significantly reduce soybean yield. Even you don't see a deficiency symptom, you need to monitor for the hidden hunger. So you can go ahead and take the tissue sample. If you have a previous record of not fertilizing the field, or low or medium soil test level, or got excessive rainfall, you need to monitor the nutrition or potassium nutrition across the season. You just need to take one tissue sample to figure out whether your crop is hurting by potassium deficiency, or you can sort out the hidden hunger symptom. If you have any questions, just contact me directly. I will be glad to look at your field or contact your local extension agent. Thanks for watching.